And it's not for the best case scenario, it's for the worst case scenario. It's for those single mothers who might live in violence-prone areas, who are watching Ralph Northam and the Democrats not protect their families and their people. And then they're watching cities like Richmond and Norfolk trying to do it to ban guns in public places during protests. We stand for law enforcement. We stand for those men and women in uniform who are black and brown and gay and straight and Republican and Democrats because they put their lives on the line for us. And we stand with President Trump. Now, I know the president, in the elite's mind, in many of the media's mind, in Hollywood's mind, he's not what a president looks like or says or is supposed to be, but he's exactly what we want. I've been with the president receiving a dignified transfer of the body of my brother Ryan Owens in Dover Air Force Base. I've watched him stand up to China. I don't have any confidence that the Democrats will stand up to China. Hell, Elaine Luria has got hundreds of thousands of dollars of personal money invested in Chinese companies. She's not standing up to China. I stood with this president. I stood there in Jerusalem. I was there at the U.S. Embassy opening because that's our policy in the Holy Land. That's where that embassy goes. And you know what the Jerusalem Post said? The front page of the paper said this: promises made, promises kept. And I'll leave you with this with the president. I want you to think about really quickly. I want you to think about throughout history what presidents we revere of both parties. Name some. Reagan, Lincoln, JFK, TDR, FDR. All these presidents, everyone I just named, that we revere throughout history, every single one of them, in their time, were highly controversial. Hell, a lot of them got shot. But every single one of them led this country through a transformative time to a more positive path in our nation's history, and so will Donald J. Trump. So I submit to you 4 more years, 4 more years, 4 more years. In a couple of weeks. In a couple of weeks. In a couple of weeks, a few weeks, we got some choosing to do. We got to choose freedom over socialism. We've got to choose law and order over lawlessness. We got to choose making sure our families, our property, their businesses are protected. We're not choosing vandalism and violence in the streets, and we will choose Donald J. Trump for 4 more years. Thank you, God bless you, and God bless these United States.
Am I good? Hi everyone, welcome back to Right Side Broadcasting Network. I'm one of your hostesses for the evening. My name's Liz Willis, and we are thrilled to be bringing you President Trump's rally live from Newport News, Virginia. If you've been watching the news lately like we have, there's a lot of craziness going on, and you might have seen many innocent people falling victim to crime, intimidation, and are being forced to fend for themselves because Democrats and the left are successfully defunding the police. When the government can't or won't protect your family, self-defense is the only option. Most of us, especially right now, don't have the time to consistently train. And let's face it, ammo is very expensive. This is exactly why iTarget Pro was invented. Using their proprietary app and laser bullet, you can now train safely in the convenience of your own home with your actual firearm. iTarget comes in all major calibers, including 2.23 and 5.56, so you can stay sharp with almost any firearm. Today, you can get 10% off plus free shipping with the offer code SAVE10. That's SAVE10. This is the smartest way for you to practice, and it pays for itself in just a few days. That's the letter I, targetpro.com. Again, the letter I, targetpro.com. You can use code offer SAVE10, that's SAVE10, at the end where you type in your payment method. This is going to be the perfect Christmas gift. Make sure that you sign in right now. Cameraman, while y'all are checking out, we have some people right now that are trying to wave and get the camera's attention. So we're going to pan to you guys really quick. Up north the front. Say hello to whoever's watching back home. I can see they're on the phone smiling from ear to ear, probably talking to some family members. But we love to see it and get the crowd excited. So thanks to everyone watching. It's great to see smiling and familiar faces in the audience. Again, this is Right Side Broadcasting Network. Looks like we have a lot of viewers, and some of you might be new here today joining us. I'm Liz. I've been with Right Side Broadcasting for 4 years now, covering President Trump's rallies. This is something, it's our niche, something we love to do. We do not miss a rally unless it's absolutely physically impossible. However, we don't take no for an answer very often, so I think that's only been the case once when they were like back to back next to each other. We have an incredible journey, an incredible election and campaign trail to follow coming up, I believe, the next 39 days. So we are going to be hopping all over the United States, and we're very excited. We're working on building our teams, making sure that our talent is ready, and making sure all our equipment is up to date, charged, high enough technology to compete with the mainstream media. You're fine. I'll call y'all over in a minute. But, so, yeah, sorry, I was talking to my coworkers. Again, we're totally live, unscripted, all the time. So we do kind of do our own producing back here. It's not a flawless execution, but it's kind of the way that we've developed this to make it seem as if the majority of y'all are here with us, watching the rally for yourselves. It's something that our CEO realized back in 2015. He would hear President Trump talking about his rallies and these large crowds, but there was nowhere he could go, no consistent source that would show the crowds or really give you that full experience from start to finish. So that's what we aim to do here. It's what we strive to do at Right Side Broadcasting Network. You've probably seen the camera moving a good bit today. It's not always our faces. A lot of times you get the crowd, you get the pre-speakers, and when someone is on that stage talking, we do not talk. We want to give you the pre-speakers, especially when it comes to local and state politics. It's very important for us to get their message out as well. If you want to see more of it, it's helpful to you to stay informed as a citizen, then please consider donating. Meaning we rely on your donations to keep us in business. Literally, to get to the next rally, the donations from today are what's going to get us there. So we do thank you to everyone who's already contributed this point, and that we have so much name recognition, and then this small business, although it's still very small, we keep a very tight core group of talent and employees, not technically employees. But anyways, it's a small group of people that puts on a huge production, so it's a lot of work. Each of us wearing the hats of 10 people. Cameraman's laughing at me, but it's fine. So your donations make that happen. If you'd like to donate, please consider doing so. There's a number of ways you can contribute to us, and I will explain those right now. The first way is one of the easiest ways, and that's by donating via YouTube. YouTube is a lot of fun because it has Super Chat, which is available when a video is live, which is exactly what we are right now. We are completely live, as you can tell. So if you see the live chat up on your screen and you're on Right Side Broadcasting Network's YouTube channel, then you can click the $sign and donate absolutely any amount. In just a moment, I'm going to find my Wi-Fi password and get in there, and I'm going to try and throw some shout outs to some of y'all. The second way you can donate is by going to our website. That's www.rsbnetwork.com/donate. Again, that's www.rspnetwork.com/donate. It will take you through PayPal. You can use a debit or a credit card. Either of those ways, it is a tried, true, and trusted source, so you don't have to worry about anything bad happening. However, if you're still scared about putting your financial information out there on the interwebs, I don't blame you. There's a non-electronic form of payment that you can send, and that is the good old-fashioned check. So you can send a check to 1550 Opelika Road, Suite 6, Box 344, Auburn, Alabama 36830. Moderators, Mod Mom, thank you all for being here today and keeping that chat room fun, clean, and family-friendly for all of us. If you don't mind, additionally to all your hard work, just dropping some of those links down below, as well as the iTarget Pro link. They are an incredible company, and I encourage you all to run and make sure you use that code today. I'm going to talk to you guys a little bit more about donations and iTarget Pro throughout the night, but I wanted to get some of that cleared up as we move on. I can't believe the time is already flying by. We did get some information really specific to Virginia that I wanted to share with y'all on what President Trump has done for the great state of Virginia and how his policies has impacted the people here. As President Trump peacefully protests with supporters in Newport News, the evidence shows his whole of government response to the coronavirus and how it's helped Virginia families and workers. President Trump fought to give the people of Virginia the resources and help they need to combat this virus. The President's Paycheck Protection Program, also known as PPP, provided over $12.5 billion worth of loans to more than 114,000 Virginia businesses and saved 1 million jobs. Nearly 4 million Virginians received economic impact payments totaling over $6.7 billion in relief. The CARES Act is providing Virginia with up to $3.3 billion in assistance to deal with the outbreak and more than $814 million so far in relief to 6,271 healthcare providers in the state. Virginia businesses are poised for a historic comeback thanks to President Trump's timeout. Y'all are distracting me. Hold on. Virginia added more than 161,300 new jobs in the first 3 years of the Trump administration, including more than 7,800 new manufacturing jobs. In February, Virginia's unemployment rate was just 2.6%. During the Obama-Biden administration, the average unemployment rate in Virginia was 5.7%. President Trump's historic Tax Cuts and Jobs Act is projected to create 32,000 new Virginia jobs over the next decade. The law also designated 212 Virginia communities as opportunity zones, which will drive new private investment into distressed and predominantly minority communities. President Trump kept his promise to negotiate America First trade deals, providing a massive boost to Virginia's economy. The President's United States-Mexico-Canada agreement, also known as USMCA trade deal, will boost Virginia's economy and create new jobs in the state, which exports $4.3 billion worth of goods to Canada and Mexico each year. Trade with Canada and Mexico support nearly 33,000 jobs within this state. The USMCA will boost Virginia's agricultural exports, helping the state's farmers and agriculture workers. President Trump is defunding Virginia farmers and agricultural producers from China by providing more than $72 million in direct USDA payments to offset the damage of Chinese tariffs. But Joe Biden's disastrous agenda will decimate Virginia's recovering economy and undo President Trump's policies that help Virginians the most. The terrible trade deals that Joe Biden supported throughout his 44 years in office has killed Virginia jobs. Virginia lost 13,100 jobs due to higher trade deficits with Mexico under NAFTA. Virginia lost 134,700 manufacturing jobs between when NAFTA took effect in '94 and when President Trump was elected. Biden voted to normalize trade regulations with China, which killed 66,200 Virginia jobs due to higher trade deficits. Biden's radical energy policies would devastate Virginia workers and businesses. The oil, natural gas, and coal industries support more than 148,000 Virginia jobs and contribute more than $14 billion to the state's economy each year. Biden's government-run health care proposal endangers the private health insurance that 4.9 million Virginians rely on. Biden's government-run public option plan would ultimately kill private health insurance plans. Under Biden's government-run public option plan, 10 of Virginia's rural hospitals would be at high risk of closing, and this would put patients' access to care as very limited. Meanwhile, President Trump is fighting to give Virginians the best health care in the world at a lower price. The average Obamacare premium in Virginia decreased 2.6% over the last 2 years. Incredible work and accomplishments under President Trump's administration regarding the great state of Virginia. Again, all of those statistics were specific to Virginia. Thank you for bearing with me. Again, no teleprompter here. My girls are over here. I'm going to pull them back up in a minute while I look for... He's going to help me out get the Wi-Fi. While I'm pulling that up, I'm going to toss the microphone over to Zoe and Grace. Again, I'm Liz Willis. You can follow me on Instagram or Twitter at Liz Willis, LizWillis. Don't forget to follow Right Side Broadcasting as well at RSB Network on Instagram and Twitter. It's the same handle. And make sure you give this YouTube video a big like, and don't forget to subscribe. Back to you, ladies.
Thank you, Liz. So Grace and I were just on the side here talking and kind of admiring all that President Trump has been doing since he's been elected president. So one of the things that we were focusing on is like what we were talking about earlier, the abortion issue, but just to kind of elaborate on that in our own personal lives. Like, you know, I mentioned how like when I was younger, we used to go out and, you know, stand in front of the abortion clinics and we would have the conversations with the girls that would go in and, you know, try to be there as a support, you know, give them an alternative way. But like I said, like we were talking about these things, and even in our own lives, like we're passionate about speaking out when we can, using our platforms. I mentioned earlier about being a social media influencer, but it's a great opportunity to reach a lot of people, you know, all over the world, really. But Grace here, she just started what is called Republican Girl, and it's kind of like well, you'll elaborate more, but it's kind of like an outlet for young conservatives to kind of, you know, be informed about policy and such like that. So Grace, if you care to elaborate to our viewers.
Yeah. So I started my own business, if you will. It's called The Republican Girl, and what I do on that is I make resources for young women, or really any conservative girl who wants to talk more about their views and maybe isn't so confident in doing so yet, or they just need the facts to back it up. Because one thing that obviously makes everybody's argument stronger is when you have the statistics and the knowledge to back it up, besides your own personal story and your emotions, and all those things are great too, but you need to sound educated when you're talking to other people about politics. It's so important. So that's why I started The Republican Girl, and you guys can find it on Instagram and Facebook right now. And I also have a website, and it's a blog, but it's all The Republican Girl, republicangirl.com. And yeah, so that's my new platform, and I'm very excited to be sharing more about the pro-life issue and all conservative issues. So yeah.
Exactly. And not only are they conservative issues, but there are also issues on the Democratic side as well. But so not only that, but even myself, I've been working at home on some projects. Actually, Grace and I met through Turning Point. She's also an ambassador as well as Liz, and we've been able to travel around, go to these conferences, and hear from people like Charlie Kirk, Candace Owens, you know, all of these amazing figures, you know, and it's kind of encouraging for us to see these leaders out there using their voice and their, like I said, platform, and you being inspired, starting your own organization to reach out to young girls, our peers. So yeah, it's definitely really important to use your voice, to speak out, to stand up for what you believe, and not be afraid.
There's not enough of us. We need more and more people to speak out as much as possible. It's not enough to just stay quiet anymore. You need to tell your friends how you feel, because I guarantee they all agree with you on something conservative, and they just don't know it. That's what I find. I feel like we all have more in common than we realize, and it's just about vocalizing it. So.
And even you hear the phrase, you know, going around, they tell you not to talk about religion, politics, or even money, but like I have said before, these conversations should have been happening a long time ago. You know, this is why we have people today who are offended, you know, easily offended by something they may disagree with. You know, America, the melting pot, the land of the free, land of liberty. We come from all over. We have so many ideas, beliefs, and if we are not able to sit down with each other and converse and, you know, learn about, you know, educating